The first episode for the Disney Plus original series, The Mighty Ducks Game Changers, came out on Friday, and tonight I finally checked it out and decided, yeah, I want to talk about this. So just like I've done with WandaVision and I'm now doing with The Falcon Winter Soldier, I'm going to talk weekly about all the episodes, and then I'll probably rank all the episodes when the show wraps. And going into this show, I grew up with the first two Mighty Ducks movies. The third one I've seen like once or twice, and I'm going to revisit the movies and do probably a video on them all, or at least individually because they're all on Disney Plus. But going into this one, as I said, I'd seen those first two movies a ton of times and I love them. Again, it's been years since I've seen them, so I'm not 100% sure how well they hold up, but I just know that they are a ton of fun. And I'm Canadian, so I mean, I love hockey, and they also had Riley from Letterkenny in here, and actually I should have put it on. I have my Letterkenny shirt here. It's Jonesy on the back, so not Riley, but it's still something.
Almost bitter. Tarps off, boys. You looking for a Tilly, buddy? Let's have a Donnybrook!
And I'll talk about him a bit later, don't you worry. But here, we basically have Evan, and he's this 12-year-old kid, and he's playing for the Mighty Ducks, or at least he's trying out to play for the Mighty Ducks, who have basically become what the Hawks were back in like the original, where they're like the high-class team, you know, the rich prick parents, all that, who were getting like scouts to the game, paying for like nutrition people and all that, just to come to the practices and to watch them over. And these kids are 12, and it's sadly accurate because I've seen that. I can name people, I'm not going to, I can name people who have done that to their kid where I live. After being let go from this team, his mom decides that they're going to make a brand new hockey team and kind of attempt to surpass the Mighty Ducks here. And that's our basic plot for the first episode. We meet some other characters, and I'll talk about all that later. And I am going to be talking spoilers just because I'm going to cover the big points of the show, just like I've been doing for the Marvel shows, just like I did for Mandalorian as well. So here, when it starts off, I was interested. It hooked me right away because it's partially nostalgic, and I will admit that. Maybe I like this show more than people who didn't grow up with it at all. Do I see problems? Sure. Are we only one episode in? Yes, so we have to realize that we're not going to build major character moments within the first episode. And this one feels like it's taking a lot of inspiration from Cobra Kai, but I'm not going to compare it yet because I absolutely love Cobra Kai. And again, we've watched 41 minutes of this show versus I don't know how many hours of Cobra Kai already. But the plot hooked me here, and I really like Evan as the main character. He's a kid and he is not annoying me yet, so that's nice. That's nice. You know, it's always kind of scary when kids are put in. You're like, oh god, the kid as the main star, what are they gonna do? This guy, really good. I don't know his name exactly, really good job. And same goes for all the kids here. They're really good. And one of my favorite, if not my favorite scene in the show, had to do with this new kid who's basically the Adam Banks, or at least it seems like he's the Adam Banks of this new team, where he shows up, he's moving and he's taking out his $900 skates. His hair, he's got the flow, and it's like a slow-mo of him going like this, and he's got the Leafs jersey on. He said he just moved from Toronto here, and then when he goes out on the ice, he has to like hold the boards and he just falls right away, and I laughed really hard at that moment. He comes out in like a blue, like Maple Leafs colored helmet, got everything, got the $900 skates as I mentioned, and then he falls, and right before he went on the ice, I'm like, he's gonna be the Adam Banks of this team. Nope, they subverted my expectations there, and good job for you guys doing that. I also found the mom to be really good here. Really funny. It's like stereotypical kind of character single mom that they're doing here, and I feel like there will be some very major tropes that are going to be like redone. So there'll be predictable things about the show, but again, I just have to keep saying we're one episode in, or at least I've only seen the first episode, so I don't know where exactly this is going to go, but I can take some guesses. And one of my favorite aspects of the show already is Emilio Estevez's character, because he's basically like, he owns this hockey rink. It's called the Ice Palace, where this new team gets to finally play at, but he's basically gone back in time because now there's a sign that says no hockey. He says he hates hockey, he says he hates kids, and of course if you've seen the first Mighty Ducks movie, you know that's how he starts off. He does not like these kids, he's annoyed by them, he doesn't like hockey at all. I mean, he drives his car on the ice in the first movie. But I think they're going to do some cool stuff with his character. I can't wait to see him coach, and as I mentioned, I have to talk about, well, I'm going to refer to him as Riley from Letterkenny. Obviously, if you haven't seen Letterkenny, it's my favorite Canadian show, one of my favorite shows, one of my favorite comedies, one of the best out there, I think, as someone who, I mean, I live very close to the town it's based off of, so that's pretty interesting. But he is just perfectly cast here. I feel a little bad for him because he's going to be a bit typecast here here, but he's really great for the, I don't know, like 5-10 minutes he was in. He does all of the characteristics of a hockey coach. Trust me, like I've played hockey since, I don't know, I was like 3 or 4 years old. I learned to skate when I was 3, so probably when I was 4 years old playing Timbits here. Yeah, that's what it's called. That's very Canadian. But just little things, the way he chews his gum, the way he skates over and kind of holds the gloves, and like obvious things like blowing the whistle, and just some of the things like, oh yeah, buddy. Like just the basics to you American viewers will have no idea what I'm saying. The Canadians will know exactly what I'm saying. And there's some cool ideas here. I mean, they are taking some stuff, obviously, as I said, from Cobra Kai and some stuff from the first movie. I mean, you basically have the new Goldberg, which, I mean, he's pretty entertaining so far. I forget what his kind of gamer tag is, but he's like this gamer kid, and I mean, he's like played, I don't ton of hours, I forget what it is, and then they start throwing stuff at him and he's like boom boom catch boom. And then there's actually this really cool scene in a cafeteria where our lead Evan kind of stands up to everyone and asks who's going to join the team, because he gets kicked out of like the cool kids table, you know, the asshole athletes table, and then you got like the popular girls, and then finally you can see there's a shot, one where like one of the girls kind of looks a little uncomfortable, because you can tell and you know they were going to do something with it, and then she raises her hand to join. One of the other girls who had been made fun of raise their hand to join, and then one of the people at like the athletes table goes and throws something, and then of course newer Goldberg basically catches it, says he's in, and then this cool skateboard kid who like, they're like, I dare you to join the team, because he was like body checking into like the vending machine on a skateboard. So that was pretty funny. This episode was a lot of fun. As someone who is a big fan of those first two films, I'm not saying the third one because I just don't remember liking it all too much, but as I said, I'm going to revisit them very soon. I'll make a video on that, and that'll be coming probably sometime next week, so make sure to come back for that. Make sure to come back for my reviews of the other movies. But overall, this episode was really solid so far. I'm excited to see where this show goes. Sure, there are some tropes that, I mean, you expect. It's probably going to be a pretty predictable show, but as someone who is a fan of the first films, it's pretty fun overall. I'm going to give episode 1 of The Mighty Ducks Game Changers a 3.5 out of 5. It's pretty fun, and I suggest watching this if you like those movies. If you only like the first one, if you only like the second one, because I know that's always a debate of whether you like the first one and second one more, because not a lot of people talk about the third one. But again, I'm going to revisit them. Make sure to stick around for that video, and I just can't wait to see where this show goes. It's interesting. It was shot here in Canada, I think over in Vancouver, so that's pretty cool, and the kids are nice. It's nice to see new kids in a show and not be annoyed by them. I know that kind of sounds douchey of me to say, but it's the truth. Kids can be annoying, but these ones are really good. Seems promising. This show is interesting, and I can't wait to see what they do with Emilio Estevez. But have you seen this first episode? Let me know in the comments down below what you thought, and I'll see you guys next time. Over and out.